Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Queen, aka Misty Talk Show, where we talk it out with the Queen. This episode is called The God in Me. I want to share an event that happened to me on 9/11. We're about to come up on another anniversary of that dark, dark day, and I felt that it was appropriate to share something with you to let you know that God is real. If you had any doubts, they're about to be ended right at this show. So, I'm going to get right into it. 9/11 in the morning. I was at work, and from where I work, you can see the Twin Towers. All of a sudden, the phone started to ring, and everyone was getting a phone call from a relative or a friend, letting them know that a plane had crashed into one of the towers. You can see the towers from my job, so one of my coworkers started filming the tower that was burning. And as he was filming, he saw the second plane go into the tower. I can tell you exactly what I was doing at that moment that I heard we was under a terrorist attack. I'm a data entry operator, and I know exactly the position my fingers were in when I heard those words because I froze and couldn't move. When we finally was able to go home, uh, I went home. The first thing I did was call my mother, and we was talking. And as we was talking, I heard a plane above my head outside of my building. I crashed to the floor and tried to get underneath my bed. I'm just going to be honest about you. I was not in my right frame of mind. I was scared just like everybody else and horrified at what was going on. My mother was screaming at me to get up and to calm down because those planes were protecting the airspace. I didn't have anything to worry about. After she calmed me down, I got off the phone with her and started talking to my sister. Now, while I'm doing this, remember, I'm not in my right frame of mind. I started peeling my skin. I was trying to get the skin off of me because I felt at that time the terrorists wanted to kill the skin I was in. So if I can get the skin off, maybe they won't want to kill me. Remember, I wasn't thinking straight. This is what seemed logical to me at the time. So I'm talking to my sister, and we are reassuring ourselves that there's no more running, there's no more hiding. If you don't believe in God for his protection, then you're out of luck because that was the only way you was going to get his protection. And we was reassuring each other, letting us know that people need to come to God now. He's your only way to avoid getting hurt. And we did this all night long until we got sleepy and went to sleep. So I finally go to sleep. And I had this dream, which I don't think was a coincidence. I'm driving down the road, and while I'm driving, I see a plane, of course, flying extremely low. So low that I could see the pilot's eyeglasses and his entire face. So I'm looking at him going, oh my goodness, there I go again, he's flying too low. And he was flying toward a building. When he got toward the building and was very close, right before he was going to crash, he went nose up and he hovered there. Then two other planes did the same thing. They went to two other buildings right before they got to crash, nose up and hovered. So now I'm looking into the distance and I see three pearly, pearly white airplanes. They look like fighter jets in the formation of one in front and two on either side hanging back. These planes were coming directly toward me. So I stood up because, yes, in my dream, you can't stand up in your car. And I'm watching them saying, it's too close for me to do anything. I can't run, I can't hide. So I might as well just stay and take whatever's going to happen. These planes, the pearly white ones, surrounded my car. And they too went nose up. And they stayed there and hovered. And when all three planes were in place, they went transparent. I could see that the field was around my car, but I could see straight through them. The moment they all went transparent, all three of the planes that was hovering over the buildings exploded. I saw body parts, luggage, debris everywhere. And I'm saying to myself, I'm too close. I'm about to get hit with all this debris. But none of the debris was getting through those three planes that went transparent. Nothing can get through that force field. And then I stopped and I thought, wait a minute, nothing's getting through them. I'm protected. In that moment, I woke up thinking, wow, that's a great message to have. At that same moment, my sister, which I'm not going to go into detail of her dream because I haven't given permission to tell it, and it was a personal dream for her. She was getting a message that told her, Jesus got this. He told her in his dream, I got this. Don't worry. So now, the next day after 9/11, we got two messages. I'm protected and I got this. This was amazing. Here's why. With all that happened on 9/11, to me, I'm saying to myself, God is so busy. He's receiving souls that didn't make it through the crash. He's receiving people's prayers, praying for help, praying for their loved one. And I'm thinking, God is so busy. But he took the time to tell me I'm protected and to tell my sister, I got this. He knows that we're both going to talk to each other and give each other the message. So now I know I'm protected and Jesus got this. So if you have any doubt that God is real or that's a coincidence, that's not a coincidence. God came to me in a dream to make sure I knew I was protected. So I no longer tried to peel off my skin. I knew what the message was about. And of course my sister's message also, which I thought was amazing. So if you're on the fence about God or Jesus, if he's real, if he's there, remember my dream. Remember the message my sister got. It's not a coincidence. It wasn't just for our amusement or anything. He wanted us to know that message. He took the time out to give us two separate messages. I'm going to share something else with you. I was going to work one day, and you know how the road, when it's getting ready to be resurfaced, it goes really, really rough. They scrape it down. It's really hard to drive and your steering wheel is shaking. Well, I was going through that. And in the morning, during rush hour, you're driving very slow, so you don't really have to worry about it. But I had to work that Saturday, and I was worried about that road because you can't slow down and start an accident. So the whole week, I'm worried about driving on that road on Saturday. How am I going to keep up with traffic and hold my steering wheel straight? Because I'm a very nervous driver, as you've noticed. So on Friday, I go home and I'm thinking, how am I going to get to work? I need to go another way. I need to find a way that I can go that avoids that road. So Friday night, I'm thinking about it. Saturday morning, I'm walking to my car. I said, which way can I go? Can I go a different way? But if I break down, no one's going to find me because they're not used to me going that way. And I'm not lying. As I grabbed for my car, the handle, I yelled out loud. And this is not embellishment. This is real. I yelled out loud, either you trust him or you don't. And I looked around. I said, wait a minute. I trust him. So I got in the car. I went the same way. As I'm coming up to the road, I hold my steering wheel very tightly. I said, God, just get me through this. And when I got to the road that I was worried about, it was completely finished, smooth as a baby's bottom. That's God at work. I'm not here to preach to you. I'm just here sharing with you some things that I went through. So I'm going to share some more things with you after this break. Okay, so you stay right there and I'll be right back with the second half of The God in Me. Back in a moment.